The classic HP compact mobile workstation lineup consisted of dull, gray, boring notebooks designed to be powerful performers, relatively rugged, and reasonably easy to use. An all-around package. But, well, you know, in 2010, old Howard there, during the meeting, whips out this beauty. That's gonna catch some glances for sure.
What?
This is the HP Elitebook 8540w mobile workstation from 2010. This generation of HP workstation notebooks began to form a new mold for HP after the previous generation broke that mold by introducing a more modern, stylish flair with the brushed aluminum look, typical of that time period. Starting at $1,500 and going up to well over $3,000 at the high end. Mine is a decent mid-range option, probably would have cost around $2,000. Even though mine doesn't have the HP Dream color calibration features, it does have everything else that you would want on it, including the quad-core i7 Q720, 16 gigabytes of memory, which can be expanded to 32 gigabytes, a 15.6-inch 1920 by 1080 display, which, you know, ain't half bad itself, and originally featuring the Quadro FX 880M 1GB graphics card. However,
Well, here it is. This is the Quadro FX 880M. It was dead. So, what did I do? Well, of course, replaced it with a desktop GPU, of course, because, why not? What else would I do? It's the CRT Productions, after all, and we don't always make particularly great decisions around here. So this is the Quadro 500M, one generation after the Quadro FX 880M. Same TDP, almost same performance, slightly faster, one generation newer. Same tier, one generation newer, pretty much. And these were used in HP Z1 all-in-one workstations back in the day, so it's technically a desktop GPU, even though it's really just a mobile GPU, and it works fine in the laptop, so all is well in the world. It was new old stock as well, so you can't really beat that. Hey, would you... Oh, no predators today in this video, just getting ready to present the next part of the video, but if you are interested in that sort of thing, the Discord server link is still down in the description below.
Now, over the years, HP has accumulated quite a number of unique names for the components of their notebooks. In the past, we've explored the HP 3D Drive Guard. For some reason, everything about this laptop is HP, even down to the HP 3D Drive Guard, also known as the hard drive caddy. Well, the 8540w here introduces us to a few new names, as you can imagine, including HP DuraKey.
Alright, so here's the HP DuraKey keyboard with that special coating on it to protect it from wear and tear over time. And you can see the model that I've got here is pretty well used. I mean, that's evidenced by the fact that the graphics card was dead. But the keyboard is actually pretty nice. You can see there, if I kind of hold it up to the light there's a little bit of wear on the shift key noticeably, as well as a little bit on the space bar. Not really that much though. It's in pretty darn good shape, as well as the trackpad. So I've got to say that stuff, this laptop, if any laptop is evidence of that, this laptop has been used and abused over the years, and the keyboard is in excellent shape, so can't really argue with that. Let's see, other than that though, just as far as the feeling of the keyboard, there's no flex in it, so it's pretty nice. It's not spectacular, but you know, I'm not a big fan of this style key, but we'll take a look here and try it out.
There's also the aerospace-inspired HP Duracase chassis, which doesn't seem to actually be anything other than the classically well-built laptop chassis, these HP mobile workstations. And then, alright, here's the fun part of the video. We love this sort of stuff from HP right here. HP QuickWeb. Now, I'm going to go ahead and shut the computer down, which might seem like an odd thing to do when demonstrating something on the computer, but just stick with me here. First of all, for all the things that we need to talk about here, there's an amazing, humorous write-up about this, extremely humorous but also in-depth write-up about this on the internet. I will leave a link to that in the description. It is by the Cathode Ray Dude on YouTube. Much larger channel than mine. You don't have to point that out, I am aware. But he has gone over everything you would ever want to or need to know about this software solution here from HP. It's a very interesting read. This is very interesting look into the minds of the corporate world. But anyway, this is not a very interesting look into the minds of the corporate world, because this is a little marketing brochure they put out about this back in the day. You can see there, that is, yep, that's probably the 8740w, which looks pretty much the same as this one. And yeah, this is about HP QuickWeb. Get online in no time. So we'll look through this. This is a very, very basic way of looking at it. Why wait minutes to get online when you can get there in seconds? Yeah, why wait for our horribly bloated, copy of Windows 7 to boot off of the 5400 RPM hard drive in your HP laptop when you can get there in seconds with this awful little thing we'll look at here in a minute. How can HP QuickWeb help save time and simplify your life? Let's see. This is hilarious right here. I would really love to be able to, let me make sure you can see that really quick. Thank you very much. I would love to act this out for a skit. This would be hilarious. Time is scarce, but you've managed to carve out a few minutes for a latte in your favorite coffee house before your next customer appointment. As you reach the counter, you suddenly realize that you forgot to print out a report of recent sales to this customer back at the office. After ordering your latte, you tap the HP QuickWeb button on your notebook. Hold on, let me do it. There we go. And easily navigate and log into your online CRM website. Before the barista has even steamed the milk for your coffee, you've got the latest sales numbers right in front of you, and make your appointment prepared with the right information. Hallelujah. HP saves the day, ladies and gentlemen. Here it is. This is HP QuickWeb. This is a little thing that popped up around this time, even though smartphones were coming onto the market, and it basically serves the same purpose as that. You can get onto the internet quickly. They had two separate things. There's actually 3 power buttons on this laptop, which is pointed out in the article I mentioned. There's 3 separate power buttons that all boot you into different things, sort of. It's very complicated. Again, if you're interested, I recommend reading that article. But you can see now I'm not connected to a network. I have tried connecting this in the house with the Wi-Fi networks to both a secured network and an unsecured network. Now let's see if we can rescan here. I've tried, though, as I said, to connect to all the different things that I have, all the various devices, except for the personal hotspot, which is not even showing up here. It won't connect to them for some reason. Don't know why. But either way, it's not going to access anything anyway, because this is from 2010. So what did I do? I hopped on the Ethernet connection and went to yahoo.com, and this is what I was greeted with. A giant full-page image of Taylor Swift and her new husband. Isn't that sweet? Well, it wasn't really what I was looking for, but at least pulled up something. This is what I got from most websites. Just a secure connection failed. This is my go-to website that works with most any old web browser that I throw at it, dandare.net. But not this one. And I also tried, of course, Google.com, and it did open the search page, but anytime you try to search for something, you're greeted with this page. Alright, so I've covered it for the 8710W and the 8730W. This one, it actually changes a little bit. This is the HP QuickLaunch buttons. I'll go ahead and just power the machine on, so you can see how quickly it boots Windows 7 off of an SSD. The first two buttons are the aforementioned HP special function, HP Quick Web and whatnot. But after that, you have the usual stuff right there. Very difficult to see, I apologize for that. But with this one, you can see all of the buttons are already pre-illuminated, as opposed to illuminating when you touch it, like with the previous iterations of the laptops. That's right. Alright, so you can actually see the buttons that you're pressing before pressing them, which is a big improvement actually. So surprisingly, they've made a pretty big improvement with this functionality. This is the wireless toggle. This is a toggle for the touchpad. Toggle the touchpad on and off, which is a new one. Wasn't on the previous ones. The indicators right here for caps lock and num lock. There's the volume, just the mute. You mute your volume. And of course the volume up and down with the previous models. Again, that was a slider. It was kind of tricky. On the 8710W, it worked pretty well. 8730W, in my experience, it didn't work quite as well. You had to slide your finger up or down, turn the volume up and down. With this one, it's just two buttons. Turn your volume down, of course. I can zoom out and show you on the screen there. You can see how it pops up there. You just tap that to adjust the volume, and you can press and hold it, of course. Actually works a lot better than either one of them, in my opinion. This makes the most sense. And then, of course, you got your favorite, the calculator, if it'll work. There it is. It limits you to how often you can open a calculator, whereas with the older models, you could just repeatedly tap and it would open a million of them. So they improved the HP touch bar thing quite a bit with this generation, which I am very happy to see. Well, it's a laptop after all. How about the overall experience using it as a laptop? Now, of course, you can always get a docking station for these sorts of laptops. It's got the docking station port on the bottom. You can use it as a desktop replacement. That's all good and fine and grand and dandy, but how about using it as a laptop? How does it perform? How does it stack up against its competition out there in 2010? Well, it's got two USB 2 ports here and another one there. Total of 3 USB 2 ports on the left side. It has a built-in DisplayPort connector on the laptop, not on the docking station, on the laptop. That was a very unusual thing to see in 2010. It, of course, has eSATA. Love it, our eSATA on this channel. It has a small 4-pin, I think that's the number, right? 4-pin FireWire connection built in, as well as separate, of course, headphone and microphone jacks. Audio in and audio out if you prefer that. So this automatically, just on this one side, 3 USB ports, DisplayPort, and FireWire, as well as the audio ports, makes this an excellent choice for the media types out there, like yours truly, as well as a multi-card reader. Speakers, we'll get to that in just a moment here. 2 front-firing speakers there, and over here, of course, you've got your optical drive. Expect that from a laptop from this time period. It is a light scribe drive, so you can't really expect too much from it. DVD multi-recorder RW, DVD plus, let me see now, DVD plus. He's got so much stuff I can't even tell. Ultra speed, rewritable DVD. I'm sure it's probably plus/minus RW. Multi-recorder with light scribe. So it's got all the stuff that you need there. All the stuff from the 8710W. It has probably this exact same drive. 2 super speed USB ports, which was finally becoming a thing around this time period. You can get super speed on your laptop. Ethernet is gigabit, of course,
as well as a built-in modem. If you can see that right there. Built-in modem. This will be one of the last laptops you'll see that on. USB 3 port, one port away from the modem. Classic. And, of course, the Kensington lock. Let's give those speakers a try, shall we? So as always with this test, I like to get the laptop about 1 meter or 1 yard away from the camera and play some audio through the speakers. Completely unedited audio here. No boosting, no editing whatsoever. Just giving it to you raw here from the CD and hope that we don't get copyright stricken by this. I don't think we will. Last time I used Ozzy, because rest in peace Ozzy, but we don't give Ozzy a rest. You see that's about half volume. Yeah, so you can tell it's not that bad actually. They don't get so loud that they're starting to destroy themselves, like some laptops. It's not too bad. Didn't have a whole lot of definition. The highs were not very crisp. There's not much lows, but it does what it can. It does blast out the mid ranges and some high range frequencies pretty well, and they were loud enough, certainly. Good enough for what it is. It's just a business laptop, though. You don't really expect amazing performance from the speakers. As usual with HP's workstations, we are dealing with a very high quality display here. Again, 1920 by 1080, non-glossy display, obviously, very easily visible out here in broad daylight right now for, the most important of activities. But even for those late night business sessions, HP's got you covered. The little pop-out light above the display. This was a common feature on ThinkPads for many years, and HP finally got around to implementing it on this laptop. This probably doesn't show up too well on camera, but there's a noticeable light being shown on the keyboard. I cannot see it at all right now. Now I can. Well, you're looking at it here with me live. This is a recording directly from the 8540w using the microphone built into it. I'm looking at them. They're kind of spaced far apart when you're listening to this in wide stereo. Yeah, recording in 1920 by 1080. The webcam is functional. No problems with that. I'll make it bigger here on the screen. It's obviously just a 240p, pretty basic. I think it actually might be 480p. I can't really tell. It looks more like 480p to me. It looks pretty good. It's obviously, it's slow, but here's what it is. I'll keep it up there in the corner. And we can take a look here. There's the Discord server working fine on Windows 7. We can scroll through that all we want to. There's that GPU that I put in. Whoa. Let's find it. There it is. GPU that was used in the HP Z1 workstation. But anyhow, we're going to take a look real quick here at the HP Performance Advisor software, which is still available from HP, and it has its own dedicated website on the internet, if you can believe that. HP Performance Advisor has this really cool block diagram thing. It's the first option there, block diagram, and it shows you a layout of all of your physical hardware, including like the BIOS chip, which you can click on it and get more information about it. Yeah, it's got this generic thing because I just downloaded this from the internet. It doesn't actually think I have a Intel Core Ultra 7 processor in here, but it is kind of funny it uses that. Well, it also has the 2010 Quadro logo for the NVIDIA Quadro graphics card for some reason. Obviously, it does say the actual CPU that's in here, the 1.6 gigahertz Q720, very good quad core with hyper-threading, great CPU. But anyway, there you have it. That's very interesting, and this thing can handle screen recording with OBS, obviously, and it's not disabling Aero either, so very cool. And the microphone, built-in microphones, are stereo, and they work very well. So this thing is, again, another point towards it being a very good media laptop specifically.
And let's not forget the fact that I edited this entire video on the 8540w. The experience was very nice. I had the playback resolution set to a quarter, but it scrubs pretty decently. It doesn't when I'm recording, of course. It is fairly sluggish while I'm recording with OBS, but when I'm not recording with OBS, it works perfectly fine. It scrubs through 1080p video relatively well. I did attempt editing a couple of 4K videos, and it didn't enjoy that very much. It is able to play back 4K video decently smoothly, but not edited. But it edited this 1080p video just fine.
Even though this generation isn't particularly sleek or, thin compared to the classic workstations in the lineup, this one I do find to be a little bit more satisfying as far as the build quality is concerned all around. The screen latches, unlike the previous generation, which I don't remember if I mentioned in my video on the 8730w, the screen latches don't work half the time. You have to basically smash the laptop screen in to make it latch. The screen hinges are pretty nice. They were also nice on the previous editions though. All around it's just solid. You can feel it there. That was me smacking the little button on the front there, but overall pretty solid build. Feels pretty good. You can hold it in one hand. It's not going to cripple you. And overall, it's just, it feels like a laptop that's meant to be used on the go despite its high-end specifications.
It's been too long. You should have come out earlier. Think of all the girls you've been missing out on.
Well, at this point, you could probably say it with me. This isn't a gaming laptop, but I know it's expected, so here's GTA 4. And it's completely unplayable at all the completely lowest settings you could possibly set it to, as well as the resolution being 1366 by 768. So, here you have it. I think we will use this opportunity to take a look at thermal performance though. This laptop's fans are not spinning particularly fast. We can mute the volume. We can listen. Not too much noise there really. So yeah, let's go ahead and open up HP's own proprietary Performance Advisor software and take a look at our performance. We'll go back into the game for a minute and I'll drive around for a few more minutes here and get the GPU nice and warmed up, and then we'll tab back into the program and see what it says for our temperatures. Very real here. Ooh, hot dog stand. Gonna take that out. Alright, now then. Ooh, the fans are ramping up a little bit now that I'm driving around some more. You can probably hear. I don't think I'm going to be driving any longer. Sorry about that, Roman. We'll just leave that behind. Oh, I can't even go up the stairs. That, my friends, is how you park the car in GTA 4. Yeah, screw you two. Get a real cab here. Hold up now, hold up. Oh, that guy saved me actually. The guy walking around in the street, jaywalker, saved me. There you go, bam. No, he doesn't care. Nobody cares in this game anymore. It's just not what it used to be. Alright, 75 degrees. I saw it there for a split second. Max, okay, it shows the maximum, 76 degrees. Maximum temperature it got up to, and I had this running in the background as well while I was running through the intro of the game. The maximum temperature it got up to was 76 degrees. Now, of course, as with most computers, this thing had a whole host of proprietary little programs and softwares and stuff that are installed on it from the factory. I don't have the factory image on this laptop, but this software is actually pretty cool. It shows you the Manage CPU Affinity tool. Manage CPU Affinity, I have a whole write-up on it here. Allows the user to view the average percent utilization for each logical processor, which is pretty cool. And yeah, you can see there. It's showing all eight of them that we have here, quad-core with hyperthreading. And it looks like the fourth CPU 4 is getting hammered the most, with GTA 4 still in the background. Well, my fellow business associates, this laptop's truly got it all, hasn't it? I mean, you can browse the web in an instant while sipping your latte. You can do it in style. And if there's ever an issue with the laptop, you can send the tech guy a picture of this screen. So I mean, I don't really see any issues here, to be honest with you. I don't see any reason not to give this laptop my second seal of approval, my friends. That's it right there. This laptop is now officially CRT approved on the grounds of having a nice screen, having decent enough graphics performance and cooling, first generation i7 quad-core CPU, and just the right amount of quirky nonsense that we like here on the CRT Productions. And all in a fairly reasonably sleek and stylish case. Thanks for watching, and stay safe out there. They're dogs. I know you're interested. It's content people come here for.